What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Ben. I'm the owner of Legacy Fitness Coaching, and today I'm going to be talking about weight loss, how you can start losing weight today and start getting results in 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line. You look and feel the best you've ever felt in your life, right? So first off, you've probably heard the term calories in, calories out, right? And everyone's throwing this term around, but you don't quite know exactly what it means. So let's start off with this, right? Calories in versus calories out. Every single day, our bodies naturally burn a certain amount of calories, right? And it all depends on your metabolism, your age, your activity, tons of variables to affect this. Resting calories is what they're called, how your body naturally burns these resting calories just throughout the day, right? So that's resting calories. And then we also have active calories, right? And that's, of course, when we burn calories running, swimming, biking, walking, moving around throughout the day. That's active calories. And then again, resting calories is just how you burn calories naturally throughout the day, right? So that is calories out. Now let's talk about calories in. Obviously, this is everything you are consuming, everything you are eating, every type of food has some amount of calories. And so that is calories in versus calories out. But what this whole term means is how they connect and relate with each other. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, right? So your calories in has to be a little bit smaller than your calories out, right? You want to be burning more calories than you are consuming if you want to lose weight and to be in a calorie deficit, right? And then a calorie surplus is the exact opposite. Your calories in has to be a bit higher than your calories out, how much you're burning, so that you start gaining weight in a slow, steady process in the safest way possible. But again, of course, we are focused on weight loss today, and that's why I have calorie deficit here, so we can really deep dive into what it is and how you can start implementing it into your daily regimen and into your own meal plan, right? So calorie deficit, one more time, you want to be eating less calories than you are burning every single day, right? So let me get my marker out here. So say, for example, you burn 2,000 calories, and this is just resting calories, right? Even if you didn't move at all, you stayed in bed all day, you might burn 2,000 calories just doing nothing, right? And then in addition to that, if you went for a walk or a run or something and you burned an extra 500 calories, and this is active calories, then obviously you have burned 2,500 calories throughout this whole day, right? And that's resting and active calories both added up together to get your total amount of calories of how much you burn every single day, right? And of course, this is just an example. Again, everybody burns a different amount of calories. I'm just gonna clip this on here. I don't even know why I was holding it, but let's get back to the topic, calorie deficit. If you burn 2,500 calories every single day, again, this is just an example. Everyone burns different amount of calories every day. But if you burn 2,500 calories, for example, you would want to eat 2,000 calories, and that puts you at obviously just a 500, there we go, 500 deficit, right? And so I'm burning 2,500, I'm eating 2,000, that puts me at a 500 calorie deficit. And again, this is a slight deficit. A lot of my clients, it varies from client to client, right? Some people are on a 500 calorie deficit. Some are on maybe even 1,000, right? Or maybe even 1,200, because that's just how their body responds with a calorie deficit, right? So again, everybody's different, but it's pretty safe to say that if you're in a 500 calorie deficit, you'll start losing weight pretty slowly, but in a steady, safe process. So now how you can implement this whole calorie deficit process and how you can use it to your own advantage, obviously, is first off, we need to figure out your maintenance calories. Again, just how many calories you are burning on average per day, right? And there's a simple way to go about this. You go on Google right now, obviously pause the video and come back and watch it, but pause the video, Google calorie calculator. Right? That simple. Click on the first link. It's going to ask your age, your height, your weight, and your activity level. You put those in, and then it's going to spit out a number. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% accurate because, again, everybody's different, but it'll give you a pretty good baseline if you don't have an Apple Watch, right? An Apple Watch or some sort of Fitbit or Garmin or smartwatch, That's going to tell you exactly how many calories you are burning on average per day. But again, if you don't have any smartwatch or Apple Watch, you go ahead and go to that Google site calorie calculator, figure out what your maintenance calories are. Then after that, go ahead and subtract 500, right? And see how that goes for a week or two. But again, it's very simple, right? If you go to that calculator, you figure out that your maintenance calories, how many you're burning every day, is 3,000. Then you do 3,000 minus 500 is 2,500. And that's how many calories you eat every single day, right? That's your calorie deficit budget of what you should be following every single day, right? So we figured out your maintenance calories, how many calories you need to be eating every day to be in a deficit and to start losing weight. So in this example, it's 2,000 is my calorie budget, right? And so once I know my calorie deficit budget every single day, you need to start tracking your food, right? This is where people start to slip up. They're like, I don't want to log every single thing that's going into my body. But the thing is, if you want results, you have to be consistent and accurate, right? You have to figure out this number and then start eating, obviously, just this amount of calories so that over time you will be consistent and start losing weight, right? You can't just say, okay, I have 2,000 calories. This peanut butter, 2 tablespoons is 70 calories. And I think these 2 slices of bread are 200 calories total, right? You can't just average it. You can't just guess like that. You need to start tracking your calories after you find out your calorie budget for the day, and then you'll start seeing results. All right, so just an overview, make it very simple for you guys. First off, figure out your maintenance calories. After that, subtract 500. And again, subtract 500 first off, figure out how that works for a few weeks. And if you're not losing about a pound per week, then you might need to drop it even more, right? 600 or 700, but do not go straight to 1,000 or even more, right? You want to do this in the safest, most healthiest way possible. And so to do that, start off with 500, see how it goes for a few weeks. If it's not as fast as we want, about a pound per week, then drop that number to about 600, 700, 800, so you can really tailor it to your specific body, right? And then after that, it's all about tracking. Once you figure out that number, you want to track it every single day. And of course, it's going to get easier as the days goes on. In any calorie tracking app like MyFitnessPal or MyNet Diary, they can remember some of the foods you eat, right? So, I mean, I'm guessing you're probably not eating a different meal for every single meal every single day, right? You're probably eating some of the same meals. So what's great about these calorie tracking apps is they'll remember what meals that you have previously logged in. So you don't have to type it every single time you eat this meal. You can say, okay, I had that sandwich again for lunch, right? Or I had that salad again, or I had this dinner again. And it's one click away and you've already logged it, right? So it gets easier over time, but this is the structure to really start losing weight and be in a calorie deficit. I'm going to grab the mic again because it's getting serious. All right. Now the question you may have is, should I be doing cardio, right? Ben, you just explained to me that even if I sit in my bed for all day, right? I sit in my bed all day and I can burn 2,000 calories from doing nothing, then I'll just eat 1,500 calories and I'll still be in a deficit and I don't even have to move, right? And while that's the truth, yes, you can lose weight from just being in a deficit. You don't have to do any exercise at all, right? But how to ensure long-term results is to incorporate exercise, strength training, all of these things that are obviously going to keep this deficit bigger, right? You can obviously have a bigger calorie budget if you are burning more, then you can eat more and still be in a deficit, right? But cardio comes in because not only does it help you increase the deficit, again, if you're burning more calories, then you can eat more calories and still be in a deficit. But cardio is important for heart health too, right? It's not just about abs or looking good. It's about feeling good. And that's where cardio comes in. You want to incorporate cardiovascular activities, running, swimming, biking, walking, elliptical, jump rope. There's so many different things that you can choose from, right? That are going to not only give you the look you want, but give you the feel that you want. You want to feel healthy. You want a healthy heart. You want healthy lungs, right? You want a healthy respiratory system. And to do that, that's when you incorporate cardio, right? So again, a little recap on cardio. If you do it obviously you're going to burn more calories throughout the day, which is going to give you a larger budget in terms of your calories and how much you can eat, right? But then in addition to that, it's going to make you feel better and ensure long-term results. All right, so now 2 other topics I want to talk about is, first off, weight training, right? So we just talked about cardio and the importance of how that is to incorporate that into your daily regimen and exercise, right? But you also want to be doing strength training or weight training at least 2 to 3 times per week, right? At the very least, you can do 2 times per week and still get amazing results. But why it's important is because over time, as you build muscle, 1 pound of lean muscle mass that is on your frame equals 70 calories of naturally burned calories. Like how I said before, if you want to sit in bed all day, if you have more muscle mass on your frame from weight training, you're going to burn more automatically just from sitting in that bed, just because you have more muscle mass on your frame, right? So hopefully that makes sense. The more weight training you do, the more muscle mass you're going to have on your frame, the more natural calories you are going to burn, meaning you don't have to be doing as much exercise over time to be in a deficit, right? My main point is it'll be easier to be in a calorie deficit if you are naturally just burning more calories throughout the day, which means you can then eat more and everything like that, right? So again, it's ensuring long-term results. It's hard to eat only 2,000 calories a day, right? You want to be eating more than that. And so how you can do that is increasing your cardio, increasing your weight training so that you are burning more calories throughout the day and you can have a larger budget and still be in a deficit. And lastly, the important one, protein. Ben, how much protein do I eat every day? Right? I don't know. What is the optimal amount, right? It's very, very simple. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Sorry for the bad handwriting. Minus 10, right? So for example, if you weigh 250 pounds, the simple calculation is 250 grams of protein, right? Because you weigh 250 pounds. But after that, you want to subtract it by 10. We don't need to be eating that much protein if you want to start losing weight, right? So how to work with that? If I'm 250 pounds, I'm going to eat 250 grams of protein minus 10, so 240 grams of protein if I weigh 250 pounds. Then once my body weight goes from 250 to 240 pounds, I'm going to eat 230 grams of protein and so on, right? It's a very, very simple calculation, but you don't need to be eating the same amount as you weigh because you're trying to lose weight, right? We don't need to be eating that much. And so how to do it, obviously, like I just said, 1 gram per pound minus 10, very, very simple. And that is how much protein you should be eating while in a calorie deficit. And again, this is very important, right? We want to at least keep, but in an ideal situation, gain muscle while losing fat in a calorie deficit, right? So the calorie deficit, that's in control of losing the fat. Then when it comes to the protein, that's where the muscle gain comes in, right? So both are very important. You can't just be in a deficit. You also want to be weight training, incorporating cardio, and eating enough protein every single day, right? So very simple calculations, both with the deficit and how much protein you should eat. Weight training at least 2 to 3 times per week. If you're looking for a free weight training program, I actually made some for you guys. So if you're interested, go on my Instagram, Benny Bob Fitness, right? And just DM me program. And I'll send you a free program. Tell me how many days you want, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. All you got to do is text me the word program. I'll send it right over. So there you have it. Calories in versus calories out. We deep dived into what that actually means, what a calorie deficit is, how much protein you should eat, and why strength training and cardio is important. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys are interested in what I do or potentially working one-on-one with me to start losing weight as fast and as safe as possible, I'll be leaving the link to my website in the description of this video. You can check out what I've done for other clients, testimonials, everything like that in the website. You can also apply to work one-on-one with me. I'll see if you fit the requirements, and then I'll be reaching out to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I explained it well enough so that you understand it. If you have any questions, please be sure to comment below. And I really want to hear from you guys, right? What more do you want to know about? I want to hear what your specific struggles are and how I can help you. So go start tracking your calories, and I'll see you in the next video.